Hey everyone, Jeff Gatz here. I got my first double bass drum pedal when I was a teenager. When I first started using it, I could barely string together a few 16th notes. But the option to use both feet to play the bass drum opened up a lot of new possibilities. I soon began playing around with any ideas I could think of. One such idea was practicing the rudiments with my feet. Up to that point, I had practiced them only with my hands, but having a double bass drum pedal meant that I could give them a try with my feet too. I wanted my feet to be as proficient as my hands, and I still do. One question you might be asking yourself is, why do I even want to try practicing the rudiments with my feet in the first place? Well, first, we'll reinforce your understanding of the rudiments overall, which will help you play them when you're playing with your hands. Anytime you're thinking of a particular rudiment, will help you improve your understanding and can help you apply it to your playing in different and unique ways. Practicing a rudiment with your feet forces you to slow it down and feel and hear it differently as well. So you'll likely find that you come up with new, creative ways to apply them in your playing. Second, it forces you to use your feet in ways you may not naturally use them in your everyday playing. That's a good thing, because in normal rock, pop, jazz, or whatever musical style, you're probably not going to test your footwork very often. So adding rudiments to your footwork practice routine will help you improve drastically. Start to get used to how using both feet feels. You'll build endurance with both feet, and you'll improve your balance and posture simply by moving your legs and feet in ways that you're not used to. The same can be said even if you do practice double bass drum a lot. I know of a lot of drummers who practice fast single strokes all the time, but I don't know of many who practice flams, drags, or double strokes. So maybe it's time that we begin blazing new paths. Third, you'll build your vocabulary for soloing. If you don't practice soloing often, or maybe if you simply don't think you're very creative at soloing, practicing the rudiments with your feet will help you build new ideas. You'll begin to see your feet as viable options for creative expression, and you'll be able to mirror what your hands do with your feet. Ultimately, it can also help you create cool ostinatos and independence ideas. In this video, we're going to look at the double stroke roll. This rudiment is awesome for a few reasons. Number one, it serves as the foundation for a number of other rudiments, so practicing it should automatically make it easier to play other rudiments. Number two, it's easy to apply to the drum set and can serve as a foundation for a variety of fills and grooves. Number three, once you get comfortable, you can whip it up to high tempos and even use it as a substitute for single strokes. Believe it or not, playing double strokes fast actually can be easier in some cases than playing single strokes fast. First, let's look at how to play the double stroke roll with our hands. I use a mashed German grip with my hands, so basically I've just tried to mimic that technique using my feet. Here's what our hands will look like at various tempos. Now let's look at how to apply that technique to our feet. Drummers often differentiate between heel up and heel down playing, but I'd recommend trying both to see what feels best for you. When I started playing the drums, I used a heel up technique almost exclusively, but I eventually tried heel down several years later when I began getting into jazz. I have to admit, I also have learned a lot of my technique from simply watching other players. Guys like, for example, Thomas Lang, who emphasized using heel up and heel down playing, depending on the situation. I've come to agree that both have their advantages in different styles, different tempos, and at different dynamic ranges. Having said that, if I'm playing double strokes at a tempo of above 60 beats per minute, I tend to play them with my heel up. The motion feels more natural and allows me to play faster more easily. The motion is similar to what I might imagine you might use while you're tap dancing, or to anyone who's played soccer before, it's similar to how you might bounce a ball between your foot and the ground using the ball of your foot. At slower tempos, more of my foot comes into contact with the pedal, but as I increase the tempo, the motion relies more and more on the ball of the foot and can even move up into somewhat of the toe region. Here's what it looks like sped up a little. You can practice your double strokes with the following exercise. Here I'm going to play 2 measures of 8th note doubles, followed by 2 measures of 16th note doubles. On top, I'm simply going to play a 4/4 rock groove with my hands. Feel free to experiment with this exercise as much as you want to make it easier or harder depending on your level of comfort. In addition to what I'll call regular doubles, we can also play inverted doubles. Here, instead of playing 2 strokes with our right foot, we'll begin with 1 stroke and move on to 2 strokes with our left foot. Alternatively, if you begin with your left foot, you would play 1 stroke with your left foot and follow it with 2 strokes of your right foot. Here's what that looks like. Although I like to practice inverted double strokes, I generally use regular double strokes when playing. I find that it's harder to incorporate accents with inverted doubles, and it's generally more difficult to play them at higher tempos. But nonetheless, feel free to experiment and determine what works best for you. Last, here's an idea of how you can add double strokes into your grooves. I still find this very challenging, and I'm still learning how to apply them creatively. hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you've never tried practicing the rudiments with your feet, you really should. It's challenging, but it's also a lot of fun. Ultimately, the rudiments are tools that we can use to improve our technique however we wish. So, why should we limit them to our hands? If you want to improve your double bass technique, what are you waiting for? As always, if you have anything else that you'd like to learn more about, please let me know in the comments section on YouTube. Thanks for watching.